Hello, my name is Jay Wolf, the designer of the Star Shooter program, and I'd like to congratulate you for accepting the challenge of becoming a great shooter. By combining your effort with this program, you have everything needed to reach your goal. If you're a coach and you want to place a greater emphasis on developing shooters, there's no better way to begin than by holding our one-day shooting camp for grades 5 and up at your school. You'll see immediate improvement, and all your coaches and athletes from elementary to varsity will be using the same successful shooting method. Call our toll-free number for more information. Now, here's the best way to use the program. Begin with the video and watch it at least twice. This will give you a good understanding of the shooting process and also familiarize you with drills that will develop your form. The next step is practice. Using the 5-star All-American Workout Practice Manual, carefully follow the directions, making sure to first videotape your shot as explained, and then perform each of the 6 different workouts. Throughout your practice, you will be using our patented training aid called the Star Shooter, or as most coaches refer to it as the shooting strap. As a word of caution, it must only be used during individual practice. Never in games or scrimmages, not even one-on-one. This could result in serious hand or arm injuries. Here's a short review of how to put it on. Whether left or right-handed, hold it up with the shooting hand so the plastic fastener on the upper arm strap is on the right. Slide the opposite hand through the arm loop so it is just above the elbow. Hold the thumb loop in your hand and securely tighten the upper arm strap. An extra horizontal pull may be necessary. Next, position the long strap exactly in the middle of the arm, wind it under and around the outside of the arm, and slip it on the thumb. To tighten, move the thumb back toward the shoulder and pull. When properly adjusted, the hand can only rotate to a point where the thumb is up. To loosen, lift up on the fastener. Now, let's begin. Becoming a great shooter like those you have just seen is what this video is all about. Before we begin, understand this: great shooters are not born, they are made. To better understand how this is accomplished, all you need do is take a close look at players who do score consistently. You'll find there are 3 basic reasons for their success. The first and main reason is they shoot a one-hand shot with proper mechanics, or in other words, perfect form. This is the most accurate way to shoot, and it's the key that unlocks a player's full potential so they can be the best they can be. The second reason for shooting success is balance. Having the discipline to establish good body control before shooting. Did you know that poor balance is the #1 cause of misses? The final reason for success is good shot selection, knowing which shots are high percentage shots for them. It's for this reason you will even see players turn down wide open shots. This demonstrates the kind of discipline good shooters practice. This also is what is meant by the saying, great shooters shoot great shots. In this video, our main concentration is on learning the proper technique and form for a one-hand shot. This will lay the foundation for your success. To accomplish this task, we will use a very successful teaching system that uses the Star Shooter and a learning strategy called modeling. The Star Shooter will develop proper form in the non-shooting hand automatically as you practice, without even thinking about it. The modeling concept means you will go through the motions of the shot without actually shooting at a basket. Sometimes you won't even use a ball. This allows you to totally concentrate on your form without also trying to score. Already, thousands of coaches and players all over the world are using this system to improve their shooting accuracy. Even the pros are. Now, it's your turn. Before we begin, here's a brief outline of your instruction. Section 1, identifying the 4 phases of the shot. This section breaks down the shot into 4 phases: ready, aim, fire, and freeze. Section 2, developing perfect form to score. This section covers the details of the 4 phases and gives you drills to build your form. Section 3, taking your new shot to the basket. This final section gives you some added hints about shooting, this time at a basket, and also how to get the most out of your practice. Let's begin now by taking a close look at the shot. We break it down into 4 phases: ready, aim, fire, and freeze. During the ready phase, the entire body is prepared to receive the ball and then begin the shot. In the aim phase, all the parts of the shooting arm are in a vertical plane with the elbow pointing toward the basket. The shooting arm extends and the offhand comes off the ball just before the release. The next phase is called fire. The ball is sent on its way with a one-hand release. The final phase is freeze. This means the follow-through is held until the ball gets to the basket. The whole shooting process is a lot like the launch of a spacecraft. The first 2 steps are like the pre-launch. Everything is put into position and each detail is carefully checked and rechecked. You see, experience has proved that if everything is done right before the launch, the actual flight will be a success. It's the same way with shooting. The success of the shot is determined by what is done before the ball is released. Proper form is the foundation on which shooting success is built. By form, we mean all that goes into the shot. The position of the ball as the shot begins, and then the use of each body part, the feet, the legs, the arms, the hands, all of these working together to send the ball on its way with the most accuracy and the greatest strength. Your goal is to perform each shot the same way every time, each with perfect form. This is the key that will make you a consistent shooter. This section is filled with many important details that will make a big difference in your accuracy. As it is in most areas in life, paying attention to the small things is what gives you the winning edge. With this in mind, let's begin building your shot. The ready position puts the feet, legs, and hands in the best position to receive the ball and shoot. Both feet point toward the basket with the shooting foot back at first, and then step slightly forward to provide rhythm and momentum for the shot. The bent legs provide good balance and power. This position is also known as the triple threat position. From here, you are ready to shoot, pass, and drive. An area that's often overlooked but has tremendous influence on accuracy is the way the hands are positioned on the ball. Take note that during practice and later on for free throws, we make it a point to lay the fingers across the seams that are equally spaced around the ball. This makes the feel of the ball much more consistent. Each hand has a different role. The shooting hand delivers all the force, and the offhand stabilizes the ball through most of the shot and then comes off just before the release. You might have heard of this hand called the guide hand, but we use the term off as a constant reminder that it must come off the ball before the release. Pick up a ball now and follow along. The offhand should be positioned alongside the ball. For a right-hander, the palm is at 9 o'clock, and for a left-hander, it's at 3 o'clock. The fingers point away from the body, wrap around the ball, and provide light backward pressure to keep it held against the shooting hand. This hand can cause a lot of left-right misses if not positioned properly. If the palm is positioned behind the ball in the 7 or 5 o'clock area, for example, the hand often tries to provide extra force, like this, especially for long shots. Another area that causes a lot of problems is the position of the thumb. If there is a big spread between the thumb and the index finger, it will often settle behind the ball, like this. and then it tries to provide force either like this or like this. Now, both of these habits are broken with the star shooter, but you still must be aware of them returning. Everyone, even the pros, struggle with returning habits. That's why it's good to practice with the star shooter on a regular basis. It keeps you shooting with perfect form. Now looking at the shooting hand, as soon as the ball is caught, and in most cases even before, the wrist should be cocked. This gives you a much faster release. A common error that results in poor shooting and a very slow release is to cock the wrist during the shot. Now, this cocking motion causes the ball to jerk backward at first, and this destroys the flow and rhythm that's necessary to score consistently. Once the ball is caught, move it immediately to a position out in front of the shoulder, called the shooting pocket. It's important to notice that the ball is not in the middle of the body, but just to the side of the face, above the area where a typical pocket would be. This is where the shot really begins. The hand should be relaxed, with the thumb and forefinger forming a V and not an L. Now, be careful not to spread the fingers too far apart, like you're trying to palm the ball. This reduces not only your distance, but also your accuracy. To give you the best touch and control of the ball, keep it off the palm area and more on the very sensitive finger pads. If held properly, there is enough room to slide your fingers underneath the ball. Now, the index and middle fingers, the ones that are taped, are called the two shooting fingers. They deliver most of the force and are last to touch the ball as it is released. Placing them in the middle of the ball produces the greatest accuracy. Now, let's put all this information into drills so you can build your form. Drop the ball and catch it with the hands already in position. Wrist cocked, two shooting fingers in the middle of the ball and pointing straight up. The offhand palm is at 9 or 3 o'clock. Move the ball immediately into the shooting pocket. Do this in sets of 25 until it feels comfortable. Don't rush and pay close attention to each detail. Step 1. Toss the ball in front of you with backspin to simulate receiving a pass. Get your feet in position, step to it, and catch. Bring the shooting foot forward as you move the ball into the shooting pocket. Plant your non-shooting foot first. Make sure the shooting foot ends up only slightly ahead of the other. This keeps your legs and feet under you so they can provide better lift and balance. Also, for greater accuracy, point both feet toward the target. Take it slow and check each detail during and after each turn. Do this in sets of 25 until it feels comfortable. Step 2. Toss the ball off a wall to again simulate receiving a pass. Catch the ball with your shooting foot back so you can step into the shot. Do this in sets of 25 until it feels comfortable. Again, don't rush and pay close attention to each detail. The first two phases have the most to do with your accuracy. Now, if you continue to pay close attention to each detail, there's no limit to how good you can be. The aim phase makes sure all the shooting arm parts are in line in a vertical plane, and then raises the ball from the shooting pocket to a point where it is just about to be released. The elbow is under the ball and also points toward the basket. This position gives you the greatest power and accuracy. Looking at the offhand, it comes off the ball just prior to the release. Now, when the star shooter tightens to keep the arm from fully extending, the hand just straightens out. Now, this unfolding action moves the fingers and the palm out away from the ball just enough so they won't drag on the ball. Keep this hand high and don't drop it down or pull it backward. This extra movement will cause the shooting arm to move sideways a bit, and this will cause a lot of left-right misses. Now, the ball can be shot from other positions. For instance, many have learned to shoot by bringing the ball up in the middle of the body. But the problem with this is each of the arm parts are no longer in line in a vertical plane. As the arm straightens, all the arm parts are moving in different directions. Now, can you get better this way? Sure you can, if you practice enough. But you must realize that you'll never be as good as you could have been had you used the right form. Keeping all this in mind then, here's how to build the right form for the aim position. Flex your arms so all the arm parts form a block letter C. Make sure the elbow is directly under the hand and points in the direction of the basket, in this case straight ahead. Now, don't let your two shooting fingers move out like this. They should be right above your biceps muscle. It may feel a bit awkward, but you'll soon get used to it. It's a small detail that will really help your accuracy. Also, make sure the arm forms a letter C and not a V. With a V, the ball comes back behind the head, and this results in a tendency to throw the ball instead of lifting it. This throwing action will reduce the arc and cause the ball to hit the back of the rim more often. Now, perform these next drills to lock in your form for the aim position. With the shooting arm forming a letter C, move it up and down 25 times. To keep the elbow in, make the upper arm brush against your side. Make sure the lower arm comes up under the hand in a lifting motion and the hand stays out in front of the body. Add the offhand to the last drill. Put the hands in the proper position and raise them above the head. Straighten the offhand when the star shooter tightens. Don't let it drop down. Now, do this in sets of 25 until it becomes natural. Slowly perform the last drill in sets of 25 until it again feels natural. When the offhand comes away from the ball should be controlled by the finger pads and not fall off the hand. Make sure the elbow is under the ball and the two shooting fingers are above the biceps. Also, keep your eyes on your arms to watch your form. To summarize all that we have covered so far, the key points to remember are shooting pocket, two shooting fingers, shooter C, and elbow points toward the basket. Extending the shooting arm completely and sending the ball on its way to the basket is called fire. The shooting arm unfolds with a distinct lifting action that will cause the ball to arc toward the basket. As the arm reaches full extension, the hand snaps down with the two shooting fingers leading the way. This downward snap adds distance to the shot and produces backspin on the ball. The combination of backspin and a high arc will give you what is known as a soft shot. This type of shot turns a good number of misses into makes when the ball strikes the